Alright, welcome back to the second part of my Crusader Kings 2 Let's Play, Antwerp Ascendant. I am playing this game as formerly the Count of Antwerp, currently the Duke of Brabant. In the first installment, I went from 2 counties to a duchy and 4 or 5, I don't know, a reasonably good collection. Yeah, 5 here. Antwerp, Brussels, Leuven, Loon, and Namur, who is not the submariner. It is a county. Anyway, things were actually going very smoothly, so I expect the bomb to drop at some point during this play, but who knows? I think in this play, over the next few decades, I am going to attempt to get the Carolingians out of Lotharingia. In an old god start like this one, the Carolingians tend to have these 4 or 5, but now currently only 3 kingdoms of Lotharingia, West Francia, Aquitaine, actually 6. East Francia, Bavaria, and Italy. Italy has been absorbed. East Francia has been turned into Saxony, and also has Provence, not Provence. Poitiers. And Aquitaine has been absorbed as well, but these are all still Carolingian entities, so they're all allied to one another. So I would like to start knocking Carolingians out in order to get them to take their proper names of Germany and France, and possibly get the Holy Roman Empire started. So I'm both playing for myself and playing for history's sake. This is done with the historical immersion mod, formerly known as Project Balance, and the VIET event system. So if the game looks slightly different, then that's why. You'll note that, for example, the Carolingians are called Carolingians here instead of the Carlings. And some of the countries have different names. Whatever. Let's play. So, yes, as I recall, I just finished a war, and the troop count here certainly bears that out. I can create the Duchy of Liege as soon as I have the money to. And I have a domain problem where I have too many chunks of domain and need to start distributing them. Could give it to my son, but then I don't have control over who he marries or who trains him. So I shall set up a betrothal now. I have no idea where von Valbonese is. Kreisfudan, that could be useful. That is useful. Although I should set it up so one of my potential heirs manages to pick that up. But I don't have control over him. So, what the hell, I'll do it anyway and see how this shakes out. A 50-year-old king is engaged to a 14-year-old girl. Hooray, feudalism. Now that that's taken care of, I can give this guy one of my extra counties. I still want to have 2 regardless of the small size of my domain, because I don't want any single one of my current county owners to have an equivalent as I do. Especially with new duchies, this can be a problem. So I should also look into fabricating someplace new. I don't want to fabricate that. That's king. I can take Liege anytime I get the duchy. Actually, let's go to Ghent. So I'm sending my chancellor to fabricate a claim on a neighboring province in another country, because it's entirely possible that these countries will go to war, these guys will declare independence, or, best yet, my king might declare war on them in order to get me this county. So I believe that is within the kingdom. Now it's impossible to tell the kingdom now because of the current Lotharingianness. Alright, and if I want to, I can do that. I may as well join the autonomy faction while I'm at it, because I don't want to be on the losing side of that war. Am I now the only member of the elective succession faction? Yes, with 13.36%, so. That's an interesting event. I don't know why 1 gold and 3 prestige are all that useful. Ugh. That's a lot of prestige. Not much gold. Not that prestige is the hugest thing in the world, but I need the gold. Oh, something just happened. East Francia just split off from Saxony. It must have Gavelkind. East Francia is tiny and pointless, so Let's see how this plays out. I can become another Duke. Yeah. And now I can declare war on Liege as soon as I see fit, which may be soon. My domain is probably going to get those back slowly. And I don't believe the Prince Bishop is going to be much of a threat. He has beaten me in a war before, but that was bad luck mostly. This time I should be able to overwhelm him, regardless of luck. That's a huge army. Sure. If you think you would be better, then you probably would be better. But not as good as this guy. Holy shit snacks, that guy is good. And getting a good marshal is a lot more rare at this point. I think those are just an UI edition of the mod, the little green pointy things between there. But I haven't seen those before. West Francia's claim on East Francia. That's interesting. This map might get particularly messed up soon enough. I don't know if I have an opinion. I suppose this would make it more likely for them to go on to autonomy, but I'm really only in this faction in case they actually declare war, because they would crush him. So I'm gonna go with no opinion. I could claim the Roman Empire for my wife. That might be a little tough. Let's see how this faction reading goes, and then start the war for Liege. Oh, West Francia just took East Francia. What have we here? A rebellion in Saxony. Things are getting particularly messy at the moment. But Aquitaine has popped out of West Francia. Oh well, it's not my business until I am a major player. looks like the fact meeting isn't doing anything, so. It's time for a war. Call in the allies, not necessarily because I need them, but because on the off chance that they're my enemy's allies as well, I don't want them joining him. That's no good. The risk of doing that, of course, is that if they reject me, as whoever that was did, then I can't take control of, or I can't invite them to join me. Oh, now things are getting really interesting. I can't invite them to join me for the next 5 years. I believe that was Tuscany who was my most powerful ally. I wonder if my chancellor just got assassinated. I don't know if I should send my son. I need a better chancellor. Oh well. If he dies, I have other sons. Oh, that was fast. You're a good son. Of course, fabrication has the issue where if I die without pressing the claim, then the fabrication becomes simply a waste of prestige and money. Since my character is getting older, I need to either figure out a way to press that claim, which would require declaring war on the King of France, or I need to somehow get my king to press the claim for me, which is relatively unlikely. It does happen, but it's so rare as to be never something that can be planned for. Unless it can be planned for, but I certainly haven't seen that. So, that's just kind of a card in my pocket should I need it. However, this gallery, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't think there is a way to say names in the Low Country right if you have an English accent, or if you speak English as a native language, American accent or English. And I can get promote this guy to the Count of Liege, and that will get it off of being a religious county. Which always annoys me because it gives me the error messages. Let's see if there are any laws. Raise the obligations on the clergy. Well, this is interesting. 150 prestige to decline that, so. I guess I'm in the war. Let's get rid of my domain troops. It seems pretty clear that I can win the war without them, and they're the ones that take the longest to rebuild. Oh, that's no good. Oh, good timing on the reinforcements. I don't care. So Lothar engages to Berg. This is becoming a superpower. Possibly a Holy Roman Empire level superpower. Yeah, Poitou is independent now. But France is getting shattered. Got 100. Won the war. Good job. I maintain my ally. Now I wait until I can declare war on someone. This is one of the problems with playing in Central Europe, is that you don't always have the religious war option. Obviously this gives me the chance to build my infrastructure, or I could join a war, but I'm not sure. And there goes Poitou. I'm not sure who exactly, whose war I could join that would be worthwhile. That's one of the reasons I wanted to try to get the Carlings out. The Carolingians out. Is that a silly little easily put down revolt in Aquitaine triggered a joining of the war from the Saxons. Meanwhile, this is a delightful disaster. generally speaking, the trajectory of the game tends to be toward larger nation states, basically. It's roughly historical, but at times it gets all mixed up and all fucked up, especially in an old god scenario with the Carolingians who are constantly switching. I am not going to worry about that. She wants to have an affair, whatever. That's what happens when you marry 16-year-olds. I don't know if that's what happens when you marry 16-year-olds. There are the Waldensians again. At least I'm winning this time. Briefly. The Saxon Civil War just keeps going. And that means that everyone can just keep taking their shit. Cooperation. Hooray. I don't think I'm ready for independence. However, I'm ready to see the attempt to be made. It's a pretty hefty Viking crew. Not hefty enough, but they could have done some damage had they been ignored. I missed what that was. The Hungarian War for Tyrol. This is going up against Bavaria. I have not been too engaged. Sorry, I just had my mouth over my hand over my mouth. Which I realize is bad if I'm talking. I mean, it's possible that one of the best ways to destroy Lotharingia would be to declare independence and weaken it, but I don't think my little chunk of Belgium is going to take out all of this. Oh good, my wife got pregnant and got smallpox. Crusader Kings, 2 ladies and gentlemen. Independence, collective. It's Carolingian, so whatever. Actually, this faction is getting pretty big. I should pay a little closer attention to whoever might join my faction. Died a maimed cripple. I wonder what happened. It's my lovely young smallpox-riddled wife. King of Lotharingia who just died? Yes, it was. So now, things are going to get especially interesting. 102.5% means that I have more men than in my, between all the vassals who would declare war if it came to war, if I wanted elective. However, they tend to be scattered all over the place and do whatever they want. Whereas the king's troops are centralized and can pick us off one by one if we don't coordinate. So I don't think that 102 is enough. I'd like to get at least 125%. Losing the war in Bavaria would be a good start for that, but that does not appear to be happening at 80%. Alright, Gallery is clearly not joining me, so is he my ally still? He is no longer my ally, so I am going to go for Holland. Had a good run, Countess whoever. Not very good at remembering my allies' names. Interesting that my country is now bordering Hungary, which is Tingri and not Catholic. So that could get interesting. I was going to check something else, but I forgot. Been drinking a little gin as this is going on. Survive smallpox, die of pneumonia. Oh well, I get a new ally. Catholic Princess of Hungary. Yes, this could get very interesting. This time I don't particularly need the money. And now I'm dead. So, not the strongest heir, but not terrible. Shy, craven, slothful, lustful, terrible, strong. Yeah, not great. And see, I lost Ghent, but that was always a long shot. I also lost my role in the elective succession. So let's rejoin that. Wow, I'm at 40% of my liege's troops. Alright, this guy is super unhappy with me. Desires the duchy, ambitious. That's bad news. But I can make him a little happier doing that. Let's see, who else? Juliana. Can't give her an honorary title. Anyone in my council deserves a county. That should help everything. Can't believe this war is still going on. 61%. And I have 283 gold. I can afford to build some improvements. Let's see if I have any claims worth pressing. Nope. Doesn't have a mother. Huh. I have a Norseman. Now I'm the leader of the faction again. Brave is not super useful for a daughter. I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe I just felt like clicking it. Exploiting gender roles. Wait, how is King Bjorn of what will eventually become Sweden? Svithjod. There, because that's him. Huh. Things are getting messy. I've said that a few times. Now I have a faction. 121%. How does she have that many troops? Can I give her anything? Money. That's too much money for what it's worth. Ah, she's got a barony too. Where is she? Why can't I choose her? Okay. So she feels like my 11-year-old son is better. Cancelled trying to appear pious. I'm sure I could pick a better one than that. Yeah, let's improve this shit. This is tough. She's 122. I do have allies. So. Pulling these back in case she moves on the offensive immediately. All my allies are in Italy. Interesting. Duke of Tuscany is not big on helping me. Traitors and opportunists. So get my marshal and my treasurer into the fray. See, I want her to attack me. Oh dear, she has an interesting ally from Alsace. So really, I think I want to send my troops across a river where even if they're attacked, they'll have a pretty significant advantage. Or they should, but they don't. Regardless, they're winning. Rhenish Franconia. That is not part of my king's domain. Capua, maybe. Austria is not. Toulouse. Toulouse is not. Holland is. She's 5, so that'll be 11 years. It'll be worth it, though. This is the Duchy of Holland here, so if they're an ally, then I can pretty much consider myself safe. And that ought to be enough to give me the win. (904). What is triggering the Crusades? I guess perhaps this Islamic taking of Santillana. I don't know what that province is normally, or under Spanish. I shouldn't say normal. Look at the Swedes. They successfully invaded Provence. This time Provence is correct. Yeah, it looks like well, I guess the Swedish invasion here could have triggered the Crusades. But yeah, one of these two. Can probably check the history of the county. 901. 904. So it was probably the Swedes. Good job, guys.